Hello! Today's video is inspired by a LinkedIn page called The Woke Salaryman. And as the name suggests, it is dedicated to salaried employees across the world and teaches them how to become financially savvy. Whenever I hang out with my financially savvy friends, all they talk about is investing, building wealth, changing jobs to maximize earning potential. And you may be somebody who thinks, what if I don't want to do any of these things? You're probably not interested in buying the most expensive watches or the coolest, fanciest car out there. You probably just want a regular life, a comfortable home to live in, maybe a couple of kids that you want to raise, and even have a dog maybe. But when you hang out with these friends of yours, all you hear is side hustle, passive income, invest, and maybe that just leads you to think, I just want a regular life. Is there anything wrong with that? And since we are talking about a regular, average life, let's talk about what an average life looks like in Bangalore city, which is where I'm from. This is how an average Bangalorean who works for a multinational corporation in Bengaluru lives. They stay on rent, paying a monthly rent of about 30,000 rupees with a median income of about 12 lakhs per annum, probably owns a small hatchback car, historically has 2 kids but that's steadily decreasing over the years, and they retire in their 50s. It's a pretty decent life. With careful spending, you can raise a family, and these days with people going childless, you'll have a little bit more disposable income as well. But at this point, it's possible that you're thinking, it didn't sound that appealing. The average life that I described didn't sound that appealing. It probably sounds too normal. And some of you may even think this sounds sad. So I'll ask you a question. What is average to you? Now, most people said average to them meant the following things: living in a high-rise apartment, a lifestyle apartment which is probably close to work, raise 2 children and send them to good schools, drive a nice sedan, maybe a Skoda, or some of you will say a BMW, have an Instagram-worthy brunch every weekend, retire early in your 40s, and be financially secure throughout. 6 things. But here's the bad news. That's not average. With an average income, you can probably do 2 out of these 6 things, not all 6. But you may immediately retort by saying, wait a second, this is not what average looks like on Instagram. On Instagram, I see all the time that people are doing all 6 of these things. That is also the problem. With social media, our definition of average, the benchmark of average, has been sort of warped. People don't like to Instagram the average portions of their life. So you end up seeing their highlight reel, which is always the best and the most curated bits about their life, and you end up thinking, maybe this is what average looks like. Everyone's better looking, more popular, more wealthier, more well put together on social media, and this is not always the case. Average on Instagram is not at all the actual average. It's not real. So do you have to embrace the hustle life that you dislike so much? Maybe. But there are 2 useful suggestions that you can consider. Number 1, you can downsize the things that you want so that you won't need to hustle as hard. For example, live in a less popular neighborhood, live in a smaller apartment, have an Instagram-worthy brunch only on special occasion, retire in your 60s instead of your 40s, etc., etc. Number 2, you might want to care less about what average is and just focus on what makes you happy. Comparison can be an endless pit of despair and can lead you down a path where there is no happiness to find. It's a really painful way to live. When it comes to money, it really depends on what you want. If you want to live a regular life, you don't need to start a business or learn to pick stocks. You can choose to do just enough. You could passively invest in an index fund or just have enough emergency funds to ride you through a storm and generally live within your means. By the way, this is very easily possible. But here's the highlight. Being average in money doesn't mean you can't be exceptional at other things in life. You could be exceptionally healthy. You could have an exceptionally quality time with your loved ones. You could spend a lot more time perfecting your hobby or your muse. You could look like Milind Soman into your late 50s. Wealth and money, it's only one metric to measure your life. So out of everything that I've said, we can distill it down to one sentence. There's 2 ways you can be happy. One is by acquiring a lot, and the second one is by desiring little. If you enjoyed watching this video, do consider subscribing to my channel and hitting like on this video because it drives more traffic towards my channel. It's free for you, but it helps me out. 2 videos that I want to recommend: the easiest way to network and a 12-minute guide to personal branding. Happy learning.